Jane Robinson was a singer employed at the Tampa Bay Hotel in the year of 1923. She was a very beautiful young woman who sang every Monday and Wednesday night in the Fletcher Lounge, and she had many fans. Everyone who went in to watch her sing came out loving her, especially one young man named Robert Boeing. He watched her every time she performed and brought her a red rose after every show. The feelings became mutual, and she started to expect him at every performance. She even dedicated songs to him about love and being together. One Tuesday afternoon, a couple of hours before her show, Jane was sitting in the lobby speaking to a few fellow employees. Robert walked in and saw her sitting there. "Jane, can I speak to you for a minute?" He walked up to her and asked. "Sure, Robert, I'll be just a second." She excused herself from her acquaintances and followed him over to the corner of the room. "What did you need?" she asked. "I just wanted to tell you that I'm in love with you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Jane." As Jane started to reply, Robert put his finger to her lips. "You might feel the same, but I want you to sing it to me tomorrow night. I'll be there, and I'll be waiting for you to reply. Please show," he said, "because I leave for England right after." He smiled and kissed her on the cheek and walked away. Jane stood there smiling to herself. Then she realized she had to choose a song to express her exact feelings. She ran to her room in the hotel to look through her lyrics. But on her way to her room, she started to cough. She lost her breath and collapsed on the floor. She tried to scream for help, but had no voice. One of the employees nearby, cleaning a room, heard her fall and ran over to help. The member of the hotel staff helped her into bed, and that's where she stayed for the entire night. The next afternoon, she was still in bed, and the hotel manager came to ask her if she could still perform. She opened her mouth to speak, but nothing came out. She started to cry, and the manager headed out to decide how to cover for the performance. And the show went on, and Jane remained in bed. She could not go to the show and sing to Robert how she felt, and how she wanted to marry him and be with him for the rest of her life. Robert waited for her, and she didn't show. He felt his emotions wash over him and started to walk away from the hotel to get a cab. As he was walking, he walked right past her room, and she saw him outside of her window. She immediately jumped out of bed and rushed after him. He was getting into a taxi. There was no way she could reach him in time. Jane made an effort to call his name through the window, but her voice was lost. He didn't see her. The door to the cab closed and drove away. She fell to her knees and sobbed. The man of her dreams just drove away, and she would never see him again. Jane, in tears, ran to Fletcher Lounge. The place she performed so many times now seemed so empty without her usual audience. She climbed to the top of the stairs, into the top of the room. She tied a rope around her neck and made her last move. As she fell to her death, her voice came back in time for one last horrible scream. The next morning, Jane Robinson was found hung from the top of Fletcher Lounge. She had hung herself out of depression. To this day, people still say that they can hear a beautiful love song being sung. We believe that it was the song that Jane never got a chance to sing to Robert. She continues to sing in case her lost love ever returns to the lounge.